We rolled up the chain harrow and strapped on the spreader and headed on down to start our fall food plots. We started off down at the creek field and used a chain harrow to take off a lot of the debris from the last time that we used the bush hog, which was a couple weeks ago. It took us a number of passes to go over this since it was so dry and we haven't seen rain for quite a while. Really haven't had anything growing here for the last few weeks because it's been so doggone dry. We seeded the creek field, then headed up to the platform plots, where earlier one of the residents had been looking for a menu for what is going to be coming up in the next couple months. We had to make several passes over the same parts with the chain harrow since there was a little bit more debris up in the platform plots. Also, the ground was a lot firmer and took quite a bit more as far as breaking some of the top soil up a little bit. Finally, after quite a few passes over the same ground, we were able to loosen everything up and get some dirt that was appropriate for seeding. We were able to go ahead and top off the spreader that already had the oat seeds as well as the brassicas with additional clover. You may have noticed the SIG P220 on my hip just for the unwelcome visitors that periodically will visit our property. We went ahead and filled up the spreader about halfway and started seeding the plots up at the platform. This year we decided to go ahead and try the Plot Spike Forage Feast that we picked up from Tractor Supply. This has primarily oats as well as some winter wheat and some red clover. Also has some brassica and some winter peas mixed in with it. The majority of it is oats from the looks of the concoction. We went ahead and also added some red clover seed that we had from when we tried to frost seed the same area at the end of the winter. You can probably see the chain harrow bouncing around as we're seeding the entire area. The spreader throws out the seed at least 5 to almost 10 feet to each side of the XP, and the chain harrow is getting us a fairly good mix of the seed with the soil, since it's so doggone dry, you can probably see how much dust we're generating from just the seed going down and then being busted up by the harrow. We had exhausted the seed in the spreader and actually got good overlapping coverage of the majority of the plots. Some of the areas we did not cover with the drag and went ahead and had to go back and forth with the harrow over the areas that hadn't had the seed grub. We finished up with the seeding, and as we were heading on back, we got a good look at the field, and it appears that we've got really good seed and soil mix. Now we're just waiting for some rain. The next morning, we returned to the plots and put down a couple 100 pounds of fertilizer using a 12-12-12 mix. Just waiting for rain now.